I just finished watching Creature Commandos. How the freak did I forget the name? Yeah, I finished watching Creature Commandos. Uh, I like the show. I mm, I would say for me personally, it felt a little bit weaker, just a tad bit, not too much, than than Superman and Peacemaker, both season 1 and 2. I still like the show though. Um, I might talk about spoilers. Why not? Um, so having Rick Flag Senior in there, it's like okay, yeah, the guy from Peacemaker season 2. I forgot the reason why they didn't give Frank Grillo, the actor, why they didn't give him gray hair for Superman and Peacemaker. I think he was filming something else, and so he couldn't dye his hair gray. But anyways, yeah, Creature Commandos, he has gray hair, so he's supposed to be an old fart, right? Um, so if I remember correctly, Creature Commandos is after Peacemaker season 1, because Economos is there and his leg's injured, and he injured his leg in the last episode of Peacemaker season 1. So Amanda Waller, she. Oh, I did like how basically for how James Gunn wants to do it. I didn't think any of the voice acting was bad. I didn't think it was terrible. Like how like some people just can't voice act at all, like Megan Fox. I don't get why she's gonna be voicing Toy Chica. Yeah, but I don't get why she's gonna be voicing Toy Chica for the FNAF 2. If she couldn't voice Natara in Mortal Kombat 1, because she did it terribly, and the original voice actress for Natara, she was only there to do the screams for Natara. Megan Fox was the one who would speak for Natara, and it's terrible. I might bring up a clip just to show how terrible it is, but if you know already, then you know. But holy moly, it's so bad. So I don't even know what she's gonna do with Toy Chica. We'll see what MatPat does for Toy Bonnie, and the voice actor for Toy Freddy. He's gonna do good. I forgot his name, Killian Groff, I think. I might be wrong. He already voiced Freddy. I forgot which one. In Sister Location. I forgot. Funtime Freddy? Is that what it is? I forgot the name. But he voiced Freddy in Sister Location. He voiced Diavolo, or Diabolo, whatever you call him, in JoJo Part 5. He also voiced... I'm trying to remember. Did he voice a Persona character? I don't remember. I'm just going off stuff that I know of. But yeah, he's going to do good as Toy Freddy. No doubt about that. MatPat, no clue. But honestly, I don't think MatPat's going to... He's going to try his best, right? Megan Fox... She didn't even try for Natara. Like, it was so monotone. It's going to probably be the same for Toy Chica. Now, if she somehow does good for Toy Chica, she might be making a comeback. Anyways, back to Creature Commandos. I don't think any of the voice acting was bad. For how James Gunn is doing it, whoever's voice acting the character, they're going to play the live action version. So, like Economos, he's in the show. Yes, the show's anime. He's in the show. The actor of Economos, he voices Economos. So it's the same actor who plays as him in the show, like in Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. It's the same actor, and so he's voicing his character. Same for Amanda Waller, the actor that plays as her, voices her as well. And then same for Frank Grillo as Flag Senior. So, yeah. Was I going to talk about the thing? I think I was. I don't know how much, because I've been kind of moving my head away from the phone, so I don't know how much of me is being heard, but I'm trying to remember. Yes, Amanda Waller, she's still, she got in trouble from what whenever her daughter ratted her out for after Peacemaker season 1. But so now she's now in charge of Argus, I think. That's what's called, or she's like the director, something like that, right? And she needs Rick Flag to go on a mission, and he's with Team Task Force. It was another thing I don't remember, or their nickname, Creature Commandos. So he was with the Bride, GI Robot, Weasel from the Suicide Squad, Dr. Phosphorus, and Nina. The Bride, she was made like Frankenstein. Frankenstein's in the show. Dr. Phosphorus, he nuclear stuff while trying to do research for a mob boss or whatnot. Trying to do research to find something to get rid of cancer. He gets turned into that nuclear skeleton that can burn stuff, right? And if you're around him the radiation very minimal, but you could get some side effects if you're with him for too long, I guess. But if you're just near him for a little bit, yeah, basically don't sleep in the same room as him or something. I don't freaking know. That's what Amanda Waller said, I think. Nina, she was born with her lungs out. So she wasn't born like a regular human. She had her lungs out, and then her dad tried to find a way to, let her live. The mom's just like, she's like, we should have just, I guess, leaning towards abortion for her, because, the child, I can see why the mom wanted to do it. The child's life is really hard to live with. Like, it's really hard for the child to live because she has her lungs out. So, and the dad was using a machine at the moment, and he's a doctor. He does science and all that jazz with bioengineering, I think. And so he decided, like after, I guess, him and his wife divorced, he decides to fix her DNA to, make it where she can breathe or whatnot. And then he made Nina, I don't know what it's called for fish or whatnot, but basically she became an aquatic creature. So she went from human to an aquatic creature. And so now she can only breathe underwater. She can be out, but she can't, breathe while being out. No, she needs a thing of water or whatnot, like fish or whatever, right? Weasel, if you've seen the Suicide Squad, Weasel, that goofy looking thing, he's alive. Still find it funny that in the end, it's like Suicide Squad, we were thinking, oh, yeah, this guy died because he can't swim, so he drowned, but nope, he just passed out and he's still alive. He was falsely accused for killing 27 children, when it was actually he didn't even kill any. But then it was turns out it was really just 8 children that were around him and an old man. But he didn't kill them. He was seeing kids, not weirdly, he was seeing kids play, like any animal would if they're, fearful of humans or whatnot. And the kids are like, oh, hey, man, they give him snacks, try to get him to come out. Then they play with him. Then their school is open, so I'm assuming it was summer break or something, right? Or maybe not summer break, like fall break or whatever. Spring break, I don't freaking know, right? They were on break. School was, or maybe it was the weekend, no clue. Their school was unlocked, and so they went into the school, and they were playing down in the school's basement, I would say. And there's an old geezer that's like, 911, this, that, calling the police, thinking the creature's hurting them because he doesn't know any better. He just assuming he knows that the creature's hurting them, right? And so then he gets his shotgun, comes downstairs. Earlier, a kid found some matches, tried to light up the stick. He lit up the stick. Another kid was holding alcohol, but he wasn't drinking from it while playing catch. The reason there was alcohol is because one of the teachers were grading their stuff, and she was drinking alcohol, by the looks of it. So there's that. And so then they were playing catch. He got a ball thrown at his face, and then he dropped or threw whatever. His hands went out and basically threw the bottle of alcohol. And I don't know what drink it was, liquor it was. But I thought that's when, oh shoot, the school's on fire, because earlier it showed the school got on fire, right? Caught on fire. But no, it was just boxes and whatnot that got on fire, and the kids were like, ooh, this. And then Weasel was still playing with the kids. Old man is like, coming with his shotgun, getting ready to shoot Weasel without question, even though he's not hurting the kids. The kids don't say anything, I guess, because they're scared and confused, right? And so then he shoots at Weasel, but Weasel dodges, right? But then he's shooting a thing that releases oil, and then Weasel sees that it's going to touch the fire, so he saves a girl because she's closest to it. But, he can only save one person in an instant reaction, right? And then, boom, explosion, school set on fire. All the other kids and the old man are dead, except the one girl. She's badly injured and Weasel saved her. So then he tries to save her. The cops come, they see him. They proceed to shoot Weasel, not knowing the kid's alive. And while Weasel's trying to get the girl out of the school, they keep shooting at him, not knowing that she's alive, right? So it's okay, at the moment, it's they don't know. They just think he's bringing a dead girl's corpse to eat it or whatever. Okay, that's one thing, right? And so then they do hit him with a bullet, but he still tries to run out of the school. And then he runs towards the exit. They keep shooting at him, but I don't know why they're not questioning why he keeps running towards the direction that they're in. They don't bother to go, man, why is this creature running towards us, right? With a corpse. It's that has to be something, because no animal's going to continue running with a corpse if they're getting shot at, right? And they're heading directly towards you. They're not going to be holding a corpse by that point. They'd be trying to run away from your direction. So then he keeps running towards them with the girl, who's still alive. And then they successfully shoot and hit him in multiple places with the bullets. And then, he falls over, is bleeding out, and the girl is still alive, reaching out towards him, wanting help. Weasel tries to reach over to her. The cops put him down, ignoring the girl completely, because she's making noise too, by the way. She's making noise. This irritates me on purpose. I know it was done on purpose, but a holy freak, bro. She's reaching out. The cops can clearly hear her. Weasel's reaching out as well. She's not that far away, by the way. She's not that far away, so the cops can clearly hear her. And so they put down Weasel, focus on him for some reason, ignoring the girl. And then the ceiling crashes down onto her, and they just ignore it. And it's are you guys deaf or something? There's a little girl right there still alive reaching out for help. I don't think that's a dead corpse. And I don't think she was hurt either, especially she's reaching her hand out for Weasel. And then, she gets crushed by the ceiling. The cops don't even bother. Maybe they're fucking retards, or they just really wanted to get Weasel for some prizes. That's what I noticed for a lot of the characters. But yeah, G.I. Robot was a robot created during World War II to kill Nazis. And so his whole thing is are they a Nazi? They a Nazi? Did I kill him? No, this, no, that, right? And so he doesn't really do anything unless someone says, yeah, that person's a Nazi. Then he'll shoot them. Or if he figures it out, right? Other than that, he doesn't really do much. Doesn't really have a tragic backstory, I'd say. It's just we see why he's in jail. Most of these backstories show why the characters are in jail. Oh, Dr. Phosphorus, I forgot to include that. In The Bride, shoot. So The Bride, she's running away from Frankenstein because she was made to love him by the creator, by Dr. Frankenstein. Not Frankenstein's monster, right? But then they both get freaky, the Dr. Frankenstein and the Bride. Frankenstein sees it happens, then he kills Dr. Frankenstein, and it's tells the Bride, yeah, we were meant to be together. And the Bride she's shocked, and then she beats up Frankenstein. Um, the castle that they were in or whatever. The I don't remember if it was a castle. It wasn't a castle. It was a big building, whatever it was, where Dr. Frankenstein would do stuff, his experiments and whatnot. And keep in mind, Dr. Frankenstein, I'm pretty sure, had a family too, and a wife. So he basically cheated on his wife by freaking his creation. And he called Frankenstein his son, so when he called the bride his daughter, I guess, but he didn't, because then that'd be Frankenstein's sister. So, whatever. That weird crap, right? And so basically, yeah, he cheated on his wife too. But then, since they're not like regular human beings, they just, throughout the eras of living, like I don't know when they, but I think it went to like 1500s, then 16, 17, 1800s, right? And Frankenstein has been chasing the bride just to be with her and thinks it's a game. And then a bunch of people that come up to him are like, gang, she doesn't love you. And a bunch of those people that do say that, and he ends up killing them because he's like, no, she loves me and whatnot. But yeah, so then she's been running away. And that's really it. Yeah, they put her in prison for that. Dr. Phosphorus, after he got his powers, right, he killed the mobster that killed his wife and son or daughter. I couldn't tell, but his wife and child, and then he kills the mobster and his family, I guess, because the daughter of the mobster was like looking at him, and you could see the glow getting closer to her. So I presume he killed the family and the mobster. And then he killed the other dudes that were working with the mobster that killed his family and whatnot. And then he becomes a mobster, and he's like, yeah, I get whatever Thorn. Was it Thornton? Or Thorn? It was Thorn. I don't know what I'm thinking. Thorn. And he's like, yeah, I get his stuff, whatnot. Shows a whole dance thing. And then it also showed how when he was a normal person, he was, dancing with his wedding. It was his wife. Well, it showed him dancing as he was a mobster and also killing a dude. And then he grabbed money, throws it up in the air, shows him when he was a human, when he was his normal self, throwing his son up in the air, doing that thing that people do. For me, I never understood that as a kid. I guess I'm really afraid of heights, because I never liked it whenever my mom or dad did that to me, or at least my dad. Not my mom did it sometimes. No, if I hear, but if I hear my mom go, oh, you liked it whenever you were a baby. It's like, okay, that's baby me. I don't have a freaking conscience right then and there. I don't have thinking. I don't remember that, right? I'm not over here. Basically, I'm not even scared of anything at the moment, unless something, right? But yeah, I never liked that. So, but I'm off topic. And then Batman catches him, so then, yeah, he goes to prison. G.I. Robot goes to prison because he killed a bunch of Nazis, and they didn't even bother considering the fact that he was made to kill Nazis, so it's not like it's necessarily its fault. That's in his program. No one's changed it, so, yeah. Weasel goes to prison, falsely accused of killing children and an old man. Nina, after her father and all created her and whatnot, she didn't even do anything wrong. She just existed. That's basically she existed. She got bullied as a kid when she went to school. Well, she was homeschooled most of her life, but she went to a school, smart people school, whatnot. And she got bullied. Then she ran away, tried to live her own life. Someone took pictures of her. Then they caught her. And then her dad is like, you weren't a mistake. You're the most beautiful thing ever, right? Before she was taken away. But the cops beforehand, right, he was trespassing. They said, stop, don't move. They're completely not even listening to what he's saying. the cops pull out their gun, right, just in case, whatever. But he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just telling his daughter that she's the most beautiful thing, blah, blah, whatnot, right? Then one of the cops just shoot her. Everyone is shocked. And then they proceed to still take her away like it was nothing. And then just stare at her dad's dead body. Bro wasn't even doing anything. Yeah, let me shoot a dude and just go, oh, I shot a dude. Yeah, oh well. Like, what? So she didn't even do anything wrong. She just basically went to prison for existing. That's it. And it's like, damn. And then, now, I'm done with the backstories. Now, they have so after Waller tells Flag Sr. that that's his team and whatnot, they go to a different country. I forgot its name, somewhere in Russia. Pretty sure it's Russia. They have to protect this princess from an Amazonian woman. I forgot her name already. Circe, right? And then she tries to kill the princess, and then they defeat her. They don't kill her. They bring her to the prison, and then Circe's like, I was trying to kill her because something bad's gonna happen. And then they're like, and then Waller is like, really? And then she's like, yeah, I can see into the future. So what about you come over here? I show you. And then, yeah. And so then, Circe shows Waller. Waller's like, okay, I'm going to get the team to kill her. Rick Flag is like, no, don't do it. The reason he's saying that, the princess and him got a little bit freaky, to say the least, right? They got a little freaky. And so now he's emotionally attached to her. And he's like, no, don't kill her, blah, 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 this and that. And they got like a person to look at Circe. And he's like, yep, yeah, she can see into the future. Yeah, she can. Rick Flag was suspicious for him. When they come after they come back, Frankenstein sees the bride talking to Flag Sr. and he's like, yeah, this guy, she's definitely flirting with this guy. I gotta kill him. And so whenever Flag is trying to call, is trying to get to the princess, the guards keep saying, oh, I don't know I don't know what you're talking about. I don't speak English, in their language. Flag being there, understood their language. She's like, yes, I know you don't speak English, blah, 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 this and that. And he tried to get to his house to call, right? And then Frankenstein pulls up, crashes the car that he was in, and then he runs towards Flag, and Flag is trying to open the door, right? It's such a hassle whenever you're trying to open the door quickly, but you can't actually open it with keys and whatnot. And then he tackles Flag through his door. They fight, and then Flag is like, bro, I can shoot you right now. Your eye's definitely the most sensitive area, whatnot, this and that. And Frankenstein starts crying. He's like, oh, you're with the bride. She likes you so much, blah, blah, blah. And then Flag's like, oh, the bride? No. We're not each other's type. And then he's like, she's everyone's type, and you're definitely everyone's type too. And he said, gee, thanks, but like, no, there's nothing between us. And he said, yo, put me down and then we can talk. And Frankenstein's like, okay. And so then he makes tea for him. They're talking, being friendly. Why not? I don't know how that Flag went from being friendly to absolutely being vengeful in Peacemaker. But I mean to all meta-humans. That's the thing. Like, I know Peacemaker, he wants revenge because Peacemaker killed his son under Waller's orders. Completely ignores the fact that it was under Waller's orders too, by the way. Because Peacemaker mentioned it, or someone else mentioned it, and he still hates Peacemaker for following the orders, right? Because he's like, well, you still could have stopped it, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Well, his order was to kill anyone trying to trying to send the info from Project Starfish and whatnot, right? So that include killing Rick Flag or anyone on the team that tried to release the info. But yeah, I don't know how he went from, oh yeah, being friendly with metahumans, liking them, to absolutely hating them. Definitely Lex Luthor was doing, and whenever him and Lex Luthor were talking, Lex Luthor somehow manipulated him, whatnot, or something, because he didn't hate Superman during Superman. He didn't hate the metahumans. He was like, yeah, there's bad ones, but there's also good ones, this and that. Now it's like, yeah, let's get rid of them. Like, huh? How did bro go from being basically like, it's like if someone was like friendly to everyone, and then randomly one day they're just like they're friendly to everyone no matter their sexuality, race, or whatever. Like, I'm just bringing this example. And then one day they're just like, yeah, I'm a racist and I'm homophobic too. Like, huh? How did you go from being friendly to being racist and homophobic real quick, right? Um, it basically like that. Bro switched up immediately, really fast. And so then, after they talk, they make a plan. He wants to save the princess, and Frankenstein wants to get near the bride. And then this and that happens. Um, the the team, not with Flag, they're already back in the country in Russia. Er, country in Russia. You know how much of a freaking retard I am now for saying that? Gosh dang. They go back to the place, they speak Russian. I think I said a country in Russia earlier, and now I regret, like, even saying that at all, right? But, I'm so stupid right now. But, they're right now currently hiding because the guards are trying to kill them. They know the info now, right? And they're hiding and whatnot. And after they run, they finally get to the castle. I'm trying to speed run because this is getting long enough as it is already, right? They're speed running. They speed running. I'm going to speed run it. Oh my gosh dang. I'm trying to at least. They get to the castle and then. Oh yeah, GI Robot got destroyed too earlier by Cersei, right? Oh shoot, they get to the castle. And then now. They get to the castle way later after what I'm about to talk about right now. But back to the US of A. Flag Sr. and Frankenstein are investigating the woman that said Cersei can see into the future and all that jazz because Flag Sr. doesn't believe her. And randomly she's a professor too, and for some reason she starts talking about lesbians and flirting with the student for some reason, and so Flag and Frankenstein's like, yeah, she's not really a good teacher by the looks of it. And Flag Senior's like, yeah, something suspicious about her. And I don't know why I keep saying Senior, just because we know Flag Junior's dead, and I'm not talking about Peacemaker, so I'm just gonna say Flag. And so they go to her house, they're investigating the place, seeing if something's odd. Flag goes upstairs to check, anything suspicious. Then they see the dead corpse of the professor. And Flag shows Frankenstein. Frankenstein's like, but wasn't she just back at the freaking university? How's she here and dead? And it's like, bro, that's a shapeshifter, clearly. Like, impersonator. So the real one's dead. The impersonator's at the university. And that's why they're talking about lesbians and flirting with the student. It's not the real her. And the imposter comes back, sits down on the couch, proceeds to turn on their Xbox and play Mortal Kombat. Warner Bros. Owning Mortal Kombat and DC, you know how that goes, right? So, of course. And it turns out the impersonator is Clayface. Wow. And they fight. Frankenstein defeats Clayface. I don't think Bro's dead, but Bro's like out for good right now. I don't think Bro's dead because there's gonna be a Clayface show. I don't think they're gonna kill a Batman villain in a show that's not even Batman related, right? So yeah. Then back to the castle. Flag is really beat up. They send him to a hospital. Frankenstein sends him to a hospital. Then Frankenstein goes to that country. I forgot, or maybe it's a place in Russia. No clue. I didn't pay attention to that part. But Frankenstein goes over there, and then at the hospital, Flag wakes up for a little bit and it's like, Mac lie or whatever. And then Waller knows what he's yapping about, so then she calls one of the guards, at the place. And before that, Weasel doesn't want the princess to die and is trying to save her. Phosphorus and the bride send Nina to go over there and kill. She hasn't killed anyone, keep in mind, so this is going to be her first kill. And so she's underwater, swimming, getting ready to kill the princess, but is, kind of hesitating a bit because it's her first time. She hasn't killed anyone and doesn't really want to do it. But, with enough motivation and peer pressure, she's going to do it. And then Weasel decides to run over because the princess reminds him of one of the kids of the girl that he was trying to save before she died. And so then he tries to save her because he doesn't want the same thing happening. And they played fetch and whatnot. And then it gets the princess's attention. She looks down to see Nina. Nina tries to stab her, misses. And then the princess, she grabs the blade from Nina and then stabs Nina to death. And then the guard is like, yo, this phone's for you. Gives it to the bride, and Waller's like, we made a mistake. And then the princess comes up from the water looking shocked and whatnot. Keep this in mind. She's looking shocked. And then when they're in the building saying Weasel's a hero, the guards, the bride walks down the hall. Then she sees the princess. Her and the princess are talking. And then she's like, oh yeah, Cersei was telling the truth. I know that. And the princess is like, what do you mean? And then she's like, oh, well, considering the fact that we saw a footage from the security cameras, Clayface. So yeah, it turns out the princess got Clayface to act as the person that could tell Cersei that Cersei was telling the truth. She can see into the future, and what the future was showing was going to happen if they didn't kill the princess. And so that's why Cersei was trying to kill her. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right now. But so then she was going to kill the princess was going to do that, if she didn't die. And, oh, shoot. And so she got Clayface to personate as the person. And it's like, yeah, Cersei's telling the truth or whatnot. Just so then, because she knew Rick Flag was going to investigate. Not believing because her and Rick Flag got freaky. Emotional feelings, right? So she knew Rick Flag was going to investigate and find out it's Clayface. So then they can be like, oh, it turns out it was Clayface. The future thing is not real. Lied. Cersei was just playing tricks on Waller. And then, but the bride's like, no, yeah, I figured out your plan. Yeah, you're not slick, pal. And then the princess tries to reach over to get it. And whenever she killed Nina, it shows a shot purposely that whenever you see her kill Nina and like stabbing her to death, she's having a look in her eyes like, not like it was for defense. It's like, yeah, she killed her to kill, like basically like a look of like, yeah, die, you piece of shit, right? That was the look that she gave, like a murderous look or something, And then Shanita grabs a gun, tries to shoot the bride. The bride's quicker, kills the princess. Surprised no one heard it. Maybe the gun's really silent on purpose. Oh yeah, before they try to kill it, before they saw the security camera of Clayface with the princess, Frankenstein comes over there, climbs up the building. He's like, talking to the bride. He's like, my love and whatnot. She quickly just whips out her gun, shoots Frankenstein. And so, yeah, he's down on the ground. And then after that, they're walking away. I'm going to go back to the U.S. after she kills the princess. And then her and Economos are talking. Economos is like, yeah, Waller may be a douchebag, but she knows when you've done something well and whatnot. She can give you gratitude for him, whatnot, this and that, right? And then now the bride has her own team. Rick Flag is on the bed, still injured. But then, obviously he does get better for Peacemaker Season 2. And Superman. Because I think Superman's after Creature Commandos. Yeah, it goes Peacemaker Season 1, Creature Commandos, Superman, and then Peacemaker Season 2. Yeah. And I think so. And she gets her own team, still with Dr. Phosphorus and Weasel. And then new members like King Shark is there, a mummy Egyptian dude, and then a bat girl. And yeah, that's how it ends. Oh, also then post-credit thing for the episode, Frankenstein's still alive. Makes sense, really hard to kill him. He's still alive, and he's like, yeah, she really does love me. She's playing hard to get. He's talking to an old woman about it. A woman's like, uh-huh. and they're eating soup, but then he's like, what is this soup again? And she told him, I don't remember what it was, but it sounded nasty. And he said, man, this is shit nasty. And she's like, yeah, I know. And then that's it. And I was like, okay. I was like, bro's still in denial, thinking that the bride loves him. And yeah, that's about it for Creature Commandos. Gosh dang, this is going to be a long one. I'd say I'd give this show, because I did feel like it was a little bit weaker than Superman and Peacemaker, but not by much. My personal opinion, right? I still like the show. I'll give it a good. I liked it. Yeah, makes me wet. I liked it. Or mid. Hilariously terrible dog shit, right? I give it I like it. It was good, right? So that's it for Creature Commandos. Have a good day, night, afternoon, or whatever.
Check it out, I'm in the house like carpet. And if there's too many heads in my blunt, I won't spark it out, put it in my pocket and save it like rocket fuel. Till everybody's gone and it's cool, then I spark it up with my brother. His mama named him Moan, but I call him Moan Lover. And he's more than a cover, he's a